What's going on YouTube? This is Max coming back at you once again with another video. This time I got another unboxing video, and this is a Samsung QN900B. Now if you like this type of content, if you could do me a favor by hitting that like button and that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in. So if you look at my previous unboxing video, the QN900B is identical to the QN800B unboxing. They have a exact same stand and the exact same setup. So if anyone is curious, you could look at my QN800B unboxing video as well too on my channel. So here's the top angle where you unbox the QN900B. You'll see the quick setup guide along with all the other pieces that come with the QN900B, along with the controller, the One Connect box, and even some of the covering panel for the back of the TV stand. So I'm going to fast forward this video just a tad bit. I know not everyone wants to see every single detail, but the unboxing was pretty easy. You can see right here I took all the pieces out. I will show momentarily what everything that came inside the QN900B, but I get a lot of comments lately as in how I did the unboxing and how I did the setup, so I want to spend a little bit of time showing exactly what I do and what I did to set up the QN900B in this video. So I went ahead and showing how I got the box ready. I'm about to go ahead and place the box on the ground and stuff it with the styrofoam that comes with the TV. And once I put the styrofoam inside the TV box, I'm going to go ahead and lay the TV flat on the box while I install the stand to the QN900B. So this is everything that came out the box of the QN900B. So the first thing I'm showing is the One Connect box. If you remember in my QN800B, this is the same exact One Connect box where they have the 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. So it's good for up to 100 4K 120, or in this case for the QN900B you have 144 Hertz. The next item is a holder wall ring, and this is used for wall mounting when you want to put the One Connect box on the back of the TV. So the next item is 1 out of 3 pieces for the TV stand. This one specifically is where you put the One Connect box when you slide it over. The other piece is a cover for the wires, and the next part is the other part of the piece of the TV stand for the QN900B that you put on the physical TV, back of the TV. Quick instruction. The next one is the accessories, and going through the accessories, I'm about to go over the power cable. This one is just some stickers. This one will actually go to the piece for the One Connect and the TV for TV stand. This one is more specific for if you're doing a One Connect and you wall mounting it. And the next piece is the remote. You have seen it in my other unboxing. It's the same remote that comes with all the new 2022 Samsung TVs. And the last thing is the instructions. And this is all that I'm using to install for the TV stand. The next portion is I'm about to show you how to install the TV stand on the QN900B. Now, if you looked at my previous unboxing on the QN800B, it is identical to that unboxing and setup. Why? Especially when it comes to the TV stand. I haven't did a wall mount on this because I wanted to take a look at this and test this TV out to see if I really like it. But everything is kind of pretty much self-explanatory. Once you look at this video and get an idea how to do the setup, it's pretty easy. It comes with 4 screws for this one piece. And next thing you're going to see me do is attach the other portion of the TV stand that should be coming up. So this second piece is also goes towards the TV stand, and this is primarily used where you put the One Connect box on the back of it. In the Connect box, you pretty much just slide this onto the back of it. It does have some grooves where it will guide you of when the One Connect snaps in, and it's pretty simple, and I will kind of show how that will work. but just like the QN900B unboxing, it's pretty much identical. The last part of the piece is the other stand, which is you just slide that in and then you just add the 4 screws to it. And that's pretty much it when it comes to installing the TV stand. So 3 pieces to the stand has 4 screws. So make sure that when you do the unboxing or you're doing it yourself, you'll see 3 sets of 4 screws. Next thing is that I'm about to go ahead and put the TV on my TV stand and go ahead and take the wrapper off. So I had to slide the TV over in order to install the One Connect box. So you can see that's the power cable, and with the power cable that goes into the plug, here's the One Connect, where I have to install the One Connect switch for the TV. And now I'm about to go ahead and unwrap the TV with the plastic wrapper. And one thing I think Samsung does a really good job with, especially is having that protective film on there. I kind of wish that Sony goes the same route, but Sony doesn't do that for whatever reason. But I like how Samsung and LG does this, especially when it has that little plastic wrapping. So on the side there is some additional tape on there, so if anyone is curious, just make sure you take that off as well. So I'm about to go ahead and turn on the TV, and the first thing that I'm greeted to is Neo QLED 8K in clouding, but it goes away. But if you're familiar with any of my other unboxing and first setup, it's the same exact setup as the previous QN900B and the S95B. It's identical when it comes to the setup menu. So if you're ever curious about that, Samsung has the same thing for all its 2022 lineup. So I'm going to go ahead and skip a little bit on this setup. If you do want to go over this, you could go ahead and kind of slow down this video. But for this one, I did skip on the internet portion of it because I did not want to update the firmware update, because I was hearing some rumors or some issues for the QN900B that was having some major issues with the latest firmware update. So I left it with the default firmware of 10.8.4. So I did not update the TV at that time. So the time of this recording, or when you're looking at this video, this is on firmware 10.8.4. But I did eventually update the firmware, which I will show in another video, and kind of show some of the things that I saw that was a little bit different. But one thing on 10.8.4, the picture quality was great. Well, it's good, but you do see some blooming. So I just want everyone to be unaware that the QN900B does have blooming, just like every other LCD. So don't think this is just the TV, but every Samsung LED TV that I have seen so far has blooming. And I would say that is on the same level, if you're curious, as the QN900B when it comes to that regards. But going back into the settings, I went ahead and if you go into power and energy, make sure you take all that off, because I want to get the maximum brightness on here. I don't need the power saving to affect my picture. But just like every Samsung menu, it's pretty much identical. For the 2012, I went ahead and set up my eARC for my TV. Just to give everyone a heads up, the eARC works flawlessly on the Samsung QN900B. For some reason, I was having some issues with the QN900B, and I don't know why I was having issues. It could have been during that time that I could have just had a faulty unit, or it could have just been something to do with the software, the firmware that I was on during that time. But rest assured that on the QN900B and even the S95B, I had zero issues when it comes to eARC, having everything set up on the TV. So people should be very happy if they have home theater systems, if they want to have that connected. But if you look at my settings, my expert settings, make sure you follow that in order for eARC to work properly. Because if you don't, you may run into some hiccups when it comes to handshake issues, where sound may drop out or even the picture may drop out, depending if you don't select the settings correctly. So just FYI. Another thing is that Samsung, I wish they fixed their UI. I wish they put an input button, but I digress. So here's my first impression on the QN900B. All I can say is, wow. When it comes to HDR content, this TV delivers. And I will say that this is better than the QN800B when it comes to HDR content. And I would even say that this is one of the best LED TVs that I have seen for 2022. So for this one, this TV so far is doing a really great job. If you want to know my settings, I am in filmmaker mode, default. I didn't change anything in the settings. So if anyone is curious, default mode, out of the box, no tampering with settings at all. So you will see some slight blooming where you just saw just a second ago. These type of demos are pretty difficult, especially for this TV, but you do see blooming, so I just want to give people the heads up. But in person, you don't see it that much, so it's a lot to do with the camera as well too, especially when it comes to how the way I'm recording it. And so this is the first time as well too I'm recording on the Sony a7 IV, so it's a new camera. I'm not using the Sony ZV-1 anyone, so this camera is doing a great job, but I'm still working on looking at the settings. So some of the blooming that you have seen just recently, you don't see it as much if you looking at this TV in person. But with that being said, it does have blooming. I will give people the FYI. You can't avoid it. Pretty much every LED TV has blooming. It just depends on how you feel about it and if you can live with it. But some of these demos that I was taking a look at, Samsung has done a really good job, especially with their new processor. They did a good job when it comes to the black levels, which it shows very inky black. It's close. It's not at OLED level, but it's close. Did it do better than the QN800B? I would say yes. With the 900B, I would say it take it just a step above that. And I thought the QN800B was a great TV as it is. The 900B did take it up a little bit, a notch above that. But this is kind of like just my first impressions. I still will have to work on the settings a little bit. Just like how I mentioned, there is blooming on here, but the HDR content is great. It is something that if you're looking for that wow factor, this is something that I was experiencing with the S95B. And I know that's a QD-OLED, but I felt that the 900B, especially when it comes to HDR content, it looks amazing. And I'm going off of just factory settings. I didn't do any type of tweaking whatsoever, but looking at HDR content, the 900B definitely delivers. When it comes to shadow detail, I would say that there is some black crush on the 900B. I think that the QN800B was a little bit better in that department, but this is my first impressions. I still had to play with the settings, so just to let you know, this is the first thing that I see. There is some black crush. I noticed this when I was watching Stranger Things season 4, episode 6. Spoiler warning, there was one portion of it, there was a lake scene where it was super dark, and that's where I noticed that there is a lot of black crush with the QN900B. So I just want to give everyone just a heads up. when it comes to gaming, the 900B, and just like all the other Samsung TVs, if you're a gamer, this is going to be the TV for you. What I'm playing right now is God of War. I'm just doing a clip on this. Now I know there is some clipping with the brightness. I was trying to do the best I can to capture this with the Sony a7 IV. I'm still playing with some settings just like how I mentioned before, but this TV is bright. So just like how I mentioned before, I'm using all factory settings on the QN900B. So what you see right now is the game mode on standard, and I'm very impressed so far with the gaming portion of it. But if you like this type of content, if you could do me a favor by hitting that like button and that subscribe button, I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, I'll see everyone on the next video. Take care.